my pronouns are she and her, and I am so glad that you are here today to experience this wonderful Ram Dass meetup, this wonderful satsang that we're about to partake in. But of course, you know, we do have a few announcements. If you did come for the Science of Mind experience, don't worry. It will continue next Sunday, and I will be the speaker. But just sit back and enjoy this wonderful experience of chanting Ram Dass wisdom and the love of these beautiful individuals here. All right, I'm going to begin with some announcements of some things that we have coming up, which are on the 31st of May, we're going to have a sound bath with the wonderful Margot Gomes. This is going to be a wonderful event. We're actually going to take the service, the entire service, and incorporate sound baths all the way through. So it'll be less spiritual message and more music, more relaxation. The theme for the month of May is Heal It. And there's so many things in this world that we really could use healing from on a spiritual, psychological, emotional level. It's a lot of energy out there, and it's not all necessarily good. So I hope you will join us for this wonderful event. This sacred sound therapist plays often with Nandi Das, and you've probably seen her up here. She's not here this week. But definitely come on the 31st to experience her. All right, the next one is, and after that, around 5 p.m., we're going to have a workshop taking control of your mental wellness. As some of you already know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Again, a lot of things that we need to pay attention to, a lot of things that we need to name, claim, and release. And so in that knowing this, these two individuals are clinicians as well as Centers for Spiritual Living licensed practitioners. We have Tony Jenkins and Scheherazade Taylor, wonderful individuals, and they were supposed to do this last month, but we had some technical difficulties, but they're definitely going to do this on the 31st. So if you're interested, come on by, and we'll have food and drink and a great workshop. Next slide. And that basically is it. I'm going to turn it over to David Ault. I will ask that you be aware that if you do give a love offering, if it's cash or check, please write your name, write Nandi Das on the tied envelope so that that money goes directly to them and not to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. If you're giving to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, just write SLCA. But please, please, please give to these wonderful individuals. They provide this as a love offering, and what they provide is priceless. All right, thank you.
And I would like everybody to begin to take some conscious, focused breaths. I know I could use some conscious, focused breaths. Perhaps you could do the same. We have had quite the ride as what you might, you ever know the term the A team or the B team? So everybody's on vacation, which inside we say, how dare you? And yet what it's done is created a lot of beautiful synergy and a lot of other beautiful souls contributing in order to make today possible. And of course, there's a beautiful immediacy to that, right? A little chaos is good, right? And before I even knew that Reverend Jean had picked a topic called Heal It for this month, I was thinking about offering or introducing to you, in case you don't know it, one of the most profound songs that I ever heard over the last 25 to 30 years. And have you ever had a song where you immediately started to cry? And this little song, these 6 lines were that for me. And it became so popular, written by a wonderful Canadian by the name of Libby Rotter, that it began to spread like wildfire. It became a song that was in harmony with the usage of it, asking people to go inside, to begin to look at their own reflection, and to actually take these words and sing them to your own reflection in a way perhaps that you did not experience when you were young. And that's the beautiful power of music to heal. So I'm going to sing it through a couple of times, and then I will teach you, and I might even have you close your eyes and sing it to yourself as well. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. That's the whole thing. Please join me. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Sing it out to someone that you long to hear these words. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle. How deeply you're connected to my soul. You would close your eyes now. Thinking about all of the things that were needed to do, to be completed, to be accomplished, to get here. Just allow all of that activity to quiet. We get to pick all of that back up when we leave, but for now, what does it feel like to drop down? What does it feel like to bring awareness to your feet touching the floor? What does it feel like to have your hands just gently resting on the top of your thighs, perhaps your hands turned up to the sky, as if receiving a gift? What does it feel like for just one brief moment to be free of obligation, schedule, people, and to just be? Breathing in to your body, beginning to notice the way that the chair is supporting you, even when you or I are not even thinking about it. It is the constancy of that support, doing what it is designed to do. And beyond the physicality of a chair, there's another, we could say, support system, faithfully there, holding us. Whether we recognize it or not. Needing nothing back. Just offering a constant support, validation, a gift or offering. That this whole idea of being alone is nothing more than a concept. And that when we are able to get still, to settle, there is the slightest tapping of remembrance. Perhaps the fleeting pause that allows recognition to be felt. And as all of these things are transpiring, even now, there is also this awareness that you are exactly where you could be, should be, are. And that perhaps that is so perfect, because in this space is where the gift that you have been seeking, or the answer that you have been praying for, is revealed to you in the most subtle way of the surrender to the now. And why don't we take advantage of this moment, this collective settling in, and think about the words of this song. Think about the power of the image of our own reflection and imagine in this infinite field of imagination that you are actually staring at your own beautiful face. Noticing the color of your eyes, all of the unique features that make up who you are. Can you take a moment and sort of lock into that? Because maybe the gift is simply in you directing these words to your own reflection. So with your eyes closed, with that imagery in front of you, with this vast, enormous opportunity to not wait for healing, but to allow the healing that already exists. The divinity that is within to already breathe. The solution that lies in perfect wait in order to be allowed in. Locking eyes with your own reflection. Let's sing it together. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Sing it together to the soul of the world. Give it all you have. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Open your eyes and sing how deeply you're connected. How deeply you're connected to my soul. Again, look around the room. Here we go. How deeply you're connected to my soul. Once more, hands on heart. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
I'm so glad you all are here. We are so glad to see everyone. And I hope everybody got some chai, because I made a lot. And you may have noticed that there's two kinds. There's the one with the devil horns, that's got sugar and caffeine. And then the other one has an angel, and that's decaffeinated without sugar. So please do get some. We are going to kind of reverse order. We're going to sing some Ganesh, which is usually what you do first, but our sort of standard is to sing the Hanuman Chalisa, because this was Ram Das's guru, Neem Karoli Baba, is thought to be an incarnation of Hanuman. Hanuman is the monkey god and represents selfless, devoted service to Ram, or God, or the one universal consciousness. And the Westerners, when Ram Dass was with Maharaji, they would be sent to the back of the temple, and they wanted to spend more time up with Maharaji, and so they figured out that if they learned the Hanuman Chalisa, which is this 40-verse prayer, that maybe Maharaji would let them sing to him, and they would get more time with him, and actually that is what happened. So this has become quite kind of a standard among the community, and so we will sing that. You can look up the words if you want to, but you could just chant Ram or just meditate upon the words. And I'll say also, if you're not familiar with chanting, the idea is to use your whole instrument. So you're listening and singing when you can. If we're doing call and response, you would be singing, and it's not about how you sing, it's not about singing beautifully, it's about using your voice to connect with these energies of the divine and to tune the mind. So, you'll be wandering off in your mind, and you'll be finding yourself making a grocery list, and so you just bring yourself back to the chant and listening to the chant or singing. And if you know the Hanuman Chalisa, please do sing it. And at the end, we will sing Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram all together. It starts with an invocation.
Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Makura Sudare Varano Raghuvara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kapalachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumero Pavana Kumara Balabuddhi Vidya Dehumahi Harahu Kale Sabika Siyavada Ramachandra Pada Jai Sharanam Jaya Hanumana Jnana Guna Savara Jaya Kapisa Tiloka Vijaya Rama Duta Tulita Balatama Anjali Putra Pavana Sivanama Mahavira Vedama Pajarangi Kumati Nivara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Suvesa Karana Kundala Kurchita Kesa Vajra Vajra Hare Ramachandra Parche Sharanam Mangalamurati Marutanandana Sakala Amangala Mulani Kandana. Remove all that is inauspicious from me by its root. Remove from me all that is inauspicious by its root. Mangalamurati Marutanandana Sakala Amangala Mulani Kandana Mangalamurati Marutanandana Sakala Amangala Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri 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 Baba Neem Karoli Santa Maharaja Ki Jai.
Jay.
Jai.
Always musical chairs. Here. I'm Shonali,
And I'm Rohita.
and we are going to share two different mantras honoring Ganesh to invoke, yes, that energy of blessings and good luck, and may we all move through the obstacles that are within us and all around us with grace, and may these obstacles take us to the wondrous places that we go.
Jai Ganesha.
Jai Ganesh.
We'll begin with 3 ohms. Gajanana Om Gajavadana Gajanana Om Gajavadana Herambha Om Gajanana Moshikavahana Gajanana Moda
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighnan Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada
Opening your heart, your mind, your whole entire being to the flow.
Hey, Andrew, I have a wild idea. This beautiful being, how old? How old was he when you brought him to the first kirtan at the house?
In utero.
Well, yes, also
In utero.
in utero, but also maybe 3 or 4 months. Do you want to come sing with me on this next one? Who doesn't love some good chaos? Come on. Do you want to come sing with me? Come here. Mommy will stand by, but you have to come sit with me. Come on.
Are you going to offer espresso and puppies?
I think you
You want
got
to go sing?
Come on.
Come on. How many of you were back in the SLCA days when the babies would get fussy and I'd say, come on, bring them on stage? Yeah. No wonder.
Here. You want to sing? Oh, Krishna.
You have to come sit with me. You have your own Shiva? Oh my God. Say hi to David. Amazon wish list right here for moi.
He's like, no way. Maybe not.
Okay,
Okay.
here, you hold Shiva and you have to clap, okay? You ready? You ready to sing? All right, here we go. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Let's do it again. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. All together, let's try it again. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Your turn. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva 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 Shambho. All together, here we go. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Again. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Let me hear you. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Again. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Oh, Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Shiva, Shiva, Shiva,
Shambho.
Shiva, Shiva, Shiva,
Shambho.
Hare Hare Mahadev.
Each of us has a very unique predicament. No two of us are the same.
and pause.
So we can't imitate.
Hang on.
Hey, Ram
We can
Dass,
only listen.
wait. He said,
Some of-
be here now, so don't tell me what to do. Yeah. Before we listen to this lesson, you're going to be the first ones to hear this. How many of you actually listen to the podcast? So the Be Here Now network, you will notice that there's this amazing being who does a little bit of commentary before. Her name is Jacqueline Brzezinski. And guess who is coming to be with us next month is none other, yes, Ram Dass, and Jacqueline Brzezinski. She's coming from the, just to be in this presence and to represent the Be Here Now network. And we're very excited, and so kind of lock that in for June. But if you don't know about the podcast, I don't know, I'm sure there's so many prolific teachers, but you might not be aware that there were close to several decades where Ram Dass was pretty much on the road almost 365. It was just a crazy life of teaching and traveling, and someone had the good wherewithal to tape every single one of them. And that's where all of this plethora and beauty of wisdom continues to be in this archive. It's where the foundation, the Ram Dass Foundation, and all of them go through, tweak all of the old tapes to bring them up to modern level and to begin to curate and decide what would be the next podcast. And so this that you're about to hear today is an example of that. But there are close to, how many, Jairam? There's now over 300 podcasts since they started. And we like to play luck of the draw, and we just kind of go like this sometimes to listen, and sometimes it's the one that we choose this month. But we're excited for Jacqueline to come. You want to say anything about it? Okay. All right.
So, yeah,
you
we'll
can
listen to the talk.
let him out of the nursery now, so he can begin to talk.
Each of us has a very unique predicament. No two of us are the same. So we can't imitate. We can only listen. Some of us are at early stages of life in this incarnation. Some of us are well along. And we have different work to do at different stages. Some of us are just starting families. Some of us have completed families. Some of us are not to have family. What do you hear it's time for you to do? We Westerners have such an agile intellect that we usually think about what we ought to do, and then we do it with our thoughts, leading. We get ahead of ourselves. We're always sort of one thought ahead of it. We think, I ought to, and we do it. We don't wait until there is an intuitive rightness about it. We don't tune to the deepness of the time for an action. We jump the gun because we create a model with our minds of how we think we ought to be other than we are, and then we try to cram ourselves into it. And the predicament is that every act in which you lead with your mind is going to have a pendulum effect. It's going to come back at you later on. Many of us went through the phony holy period, in which we were holier than we really were. And then we all went back to the phony unholy period, when we were less holy than we really were. Because we opened and sensed what the possibilities were, and then with our minds we tried to grab it. And you can't grab. You can only listen and tune, and listen and tune, and listen and tune. And in the process of listening and tuning, you keep hearing many, many, many guides and instructions. Each one insisting that it is the true voice. And you buy a voice and you act upon it, and a moment later you realize that you've merely dug your hole deeper. And as Aurobindo said, you get up after falling on your face, and you brush yourself off, and you look sheepishly at God, and you get on with it. The tuning is what a whole life is about. It's a process of tuning to a deeper and deeper part of the universe, of yourself. At one moment you're fascinated by something, and a moment later it's trivial, it's empty, it means nothing. And then a new fascination takes hold, and a moment later that's trivial and empty and means nothing. It's called vairagya, the falling away of desire, the falling away of wanting this or that. But you can't rush it by knowing about it in advance. You can't make believe you don't want something when you still want it. You can't make believe you're finished with something. The problem we face is that we get into a value judgment that it's better to be more enlightened than less enlightened, to be less attached than more attached. And actually all it is different. It's not better. It isn't better to be 40 years old than 20 years old. It's just different. We're dealing with spiritual evolution. We're dealing with movement through vast amounts of time in which there is a process of awakening going on. I remember back in the 60s when we first took acid, we had charts on the board, on the walls, as to how soon everybody was going to get enlightened. How many millions would get enlightened, how fast with acid, as soon as we put it in the reservoir. And I look at all the people who were the front runners in that dance, and I see that all of them have stopped counting, as I have. Not out of despair, but out of an appreciation that, as Haridas said, you can't rip the skin from the snake. That you must proceed at the pace that is harmonious with your being. You can't wipe away past karma, you just stop creating new karma, and then old karma just runs off. And even that process is a process that has its own time. There's a distinction between patience and despair in this game. Patience comes out of a trust that comes out of the awareness that it's all going fine, that you are in exactly the place you're supposed to be in at this moment, and that you could relax into it a bit. Because if you're going to listen and hear, you have to be quiet to hear. Quiet of all models. Quiet of all fear. Quiet of all anxiety. You have to keep quieting. And you can't wait till you're fully quiet so you don't hear clearly. You only hear approximations of truth. You keep hearing relative realities, relative truth. And you keep moving a little closer, a little closer. So in this sadhana or spiritual journey or practice, you can't really buy a roadmap and then follow it that easily because of the uniqueness of your predicament. For example, you may be somebody that is a very emotional person. And you begin to realize that the world isn't the way you thought it was. You begin to be open to the spirit, and you try to move towards some method that will purify you, that will bring you closer to living spirit. Well, you've got a strong point going for you. You've got your heart. And so when you just open that way, you are drawn to devotional practices. You may go to church and look at a statue of Christ or Mary, or sing hymns, or love Hanuman. And then as you go on with your practices, you may feel after a while that you begin to sense what's holding you back, where you have work to do. And that work to do may be in your body, with your energy systems. You may feel that they're blocked. They're really not moving very well. And you will find yourselves drawn to Hatha Yoga or to other forms of movement, to Tai Chi or Aikido or running or ways of moving the energy, of balancing your body's energy, getting it moving. Or you may experience that your mind is terribly agitated. You can't seem to keep it attending to anything for even a second. It's like what's called a monkey mind. And so you're drawn towards quieting the mind. And suddenly you're looking on bulletin boards and laundromats for meditation groups, something that was totally irrelevant to you a while back. I recall coming out of academia, when I got into spiritual practices and went to the East, I was very attracted to Zen Buddhism because of its cleanness and its austerity. And it's jnana yoga, it's mind feeding the mind. I loved it. And to me, all of the bhakti stuff, especially the Hindu bhakti, was so schlock. It was so garish. It was so kind of gross. It had all these gods and goddesses. And I was a Jew. I didn't believe in idols, all that stuff. Had gurus, and I wasn't going to touch anybody's feet. Funny how it turned out. Turned out in spite of me. In spite of me. Now, it may well be that for an individual you'll find one path that will so fulfill, captivate, involve, and seduce you. Perhaps the path of the heart. And you will just go deeper and deeper into devotional practices. And as you go into devotional practices, say you are singing Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, and you're singing to Ram, and you just keep doing that and doing that and doing that, your mind is at the same point, just as if you were following the breath, is quieting and quieting, and your concentration is deepening. And as you sing and your devotion gets deeper, you will find all of this kind of electrical fields of energy, and you'll find energy in your spine, and you will find that all of the chakras are opening, all of the energy systems are following. If you lead with your mind, with meditation, you will experience again an opening of the heart at certain stages, and you will certainly experience energy changes. When people that are deep meditators have a hard time sleeping more than a few hours a night. They have so much Shakti just from the meditation. And similarly, if you do Hatha Yoga in a true form, not as exercise, but as asanas of prayer, you will open the heart and quiet the mind. Appreciation first, that every method is a trap. Methods are traps. The horror is somebody that merely ends up an expert in a method. Who are you? I'm a meditator. Well, that's interesting. How do you do? I'm Dick. Because beyond the method, the hope is that your method will take you in, make you an absolute fanatic, and then self-destruct, and leave you beyond method. But you can't be afraid of being trapped. If you try to hold one foot back so that you won't look like a fool, forget it. And yet you can't leap into a method fully. Its surrender is not an ego matter. You can't decide to surrender. That is not surrender. Surrender is something that happens to you. The surrender of no surrender. It just happens to you. You just get pulled in deeper and deeper just by the sheer harmony with your deepest karmic essence. There is an excitement and a joy when you find a method that's harmonious with your being, that you really feel is right for you. And then there is a great sadness when you go through the method and the method self-ejects. Because the method became your home. The method became so familiar and so comfortable. And there's a timing of when to let go of methods.
Wow. There's a timing for when to let go of methods. We like to open up after the talk for questions, and I think we have some mic runners, and I don't know, I feel drawn over to this side of the room. It looks like Jericho Brown has a question.
He was saying a word I couldn't understand, or maybe I just don't know. It sounds like he would say, you would get shocked?
Shakti.
Shakti. I don't know what that is. Can you help me?
Jairam's going to answer. He's right there. So Jairam, look him right in the eye and tell him what
Shakti.
Shakti is.
Shakti is an energy. So I guess one way to describe it would be that, well, they say that there's like a energy that is coiled at the base of the spine. And then when you release this energy, it kind of moves up and into the higher realm. So that's in the chakra system. But Shakti in general is an energy, and it's deep. So like if you'll see a statue sometime of, we were singing Shiva Shambho, and Shiva sometimes is dancing on his consort Shakti. So the Shakti is the energy that comes from the beyond and puts in Shiva into form. I don't know, does that sound, is that
Shonali,
Shonali, do you have a different take on Shakti? Shakti is a big subject. I mean, I think there's many levels you can speak to from it.
He was saying things like there was too much Shakti.
When you have a lot of energy going through your system, then you could have a hard time sleeping. But maybe Shonali has something to, you're a yoga teacher.
I mean, not so different from what you're saying, just to, Shakti is associated as the feminine kind of holding of all that is, and it ignites the Shiva, the masculine, into action, right? Of course, feminine and masculine is sort of a crude way in these days to say, because it's not about our gender at all, but it's about this energy that holds, so Shakti holds and ignites then the action of whatever is being put into action.
So when he was saying like deep meditators get so full of Shakti they can't sleep because they're in there, and that they're filled with so much of this energy that is around us all, and they're channeling so much of this energy, then they're living in a different kind of realm.
That's why I can't sleep.
Well, I mean, you're a poet, and so I don't know if everybody knows Jericho is an award-winning, because the word went out of my mind, so help me here. Jericho's
He's a Pulitzer Prize
Pulitzer
poet.
Prize winner of poetry, and so when you're in the realm of writing poetry, it's probably, I don't know how you experience it, but usually great art comes from the ethers, and you're almost more like a channel. Is that how it feels? And so that energy that you're accessing could be called Shakti, and then you're bringing it down. So you're probably, without even practicing yoga, fairly adept at accessing that energy, I would say.
Everybody has it.
Everybody
Whether
has
they
it. There you
practice
go.
yoga or not.
Right.
We are all have that connectivity to, it's a life force energy that is then ignited in however it is we individually channel our actions, as guided by our karma and all the other things that sort of take us in all kinds of different directions.
Beautiful.
And there are beautiful universal ways of speaking about that energy. And I know that you have had this where you have been so engrossed in some type of creative activity that you have lost all track of time. Has that happened to you? Where anything within the dualistic world that is weighted with obligation or any other person, all of that seems to evaporate like the dew, and you are completely ensconced, the way Shonali said, in the holding of creation itself as you. As you. So creation as you, in you, as you, through you. Through you is sort of the masculine component that then moves it out, but the real juice is the womb of that Shakti, the feminine, that is holding in there. And I loved the way, if you listen in the podcast, he goes, you don't plan these things. You can't plan your awakening. You can't plan the destruction of a method. You're just in the method until. And one of the beautiful things about Shiva, Shiva is the great disruptor. Have you ever had a method and a path and a career and a title and an identity completely dissolve? And we go, ah. How do we go? Ah. And then there is a gathering where we freak out, I'm sure, most likely, because all things human are tied into that identity. There's economics, there's relational, there's, again, sense of self. My whole self is wrapped up into this identity, and this identity in this method is self-destructing. And so we have a tendency to want to rush then and label that as negative. When, if Shiva is the great dismantler, destroyer, that destruction is what? It is the portal or the gateway, because without us being aware, our intellect cannot navigate this. Without being aware, the next evolution of our life, our creativity, our place to be is in wait. It's ripe. It's been holding in the womb of creation, and now the only thing that is necessary is to allow ourselves to learn how to outgrow. And in order to, quote, grow, one must outgrow. If we're so locked into the rigidity of a path, of a method, of an identity, of the way in which this is supposed to be, there is an innate stagnation, which is not an innate stagnation that is not conducive to what your innate creativity and evolution and propulsion is. So you got stagnation, and then you've got this evolution, and something, the warring of that. So what controls the stagnation is the duality. Remember how he was talking about the mind and the thoughts? And they're just, what I heard him say was about pacing. So he says the thought is telling you, you got to do this, you got to jump on this, you got to, and so there is this immediate the thought, and we don't even stop and pace and sit with the thought and go, what is in this for me?
It sounds similar to something I heard when I first started coming to SLCA, when people would say, your ceiling has become your floor. And you just have to understand that you are in search of a new ceiling, or that something new ceiling oriented is going on, as opposed to lamenting the fact that you feel like, it seems to me that this is all about I hate to use the word accomplish because it suggests good, but what we mean here is different. But I don't have another word. But it seems as if you accomplish something and you sort of have to understand that it has been accomplished, and therefore you can let it go.
So first with the ceiling and the floor and the ceiling analogy. So yeah, we used to say that a lot. And what was once your floor is now your ceiling, and showing the natural.
Other way.
I'm sorry. What was once your ceiling is now your floor. I'm just testing to see if you're listening. Are you paying attention? So, what was once your ceiling? What was once the end-all, be-all of everything that you felt that you could achieve, hold, imagine, becomes the very ground that you walk on, which just simply shows the perpetuity of that opening and that Shakti and that energy and that creativity, which is endless. Endless. And can you see then with Ram Dass talking about, if we're so merged with the identity that is the ceiling, not even realizing that the ceiling is now the floor, we become so comfortable that in that comfortability, in that perceived safety, all that is a thought. And if all that it is a thought, then the fear of the uncertainty and the unknown, that too is just a thought. as he was talking, I thought, one real way that any of this lands is through personal experience. Because until then, it's just concept, right? So he's saying, watch the thought. We're so reactive, we just go zigzag, zigzag with the thought. The experience would be, okay, here's what I'm going to do. The next thought that is filled with urgency that says, I got to do this, I'm going to pause. I'm just going to pause. And I'm going to breathe. Maybe there's an agreed containment of time that I'm going to pause, and I'm going to see and watch the urgency, the visceral nature of it in my body that's just like, and I'm just going to sit with it. And then we can slowly begin to see the domestication that we are to our thoughts, and the way in which the world is adding to that by saying you snooze, you lose, when there is no loss. There can't be loss in an infinite nature and in an infinite abundance. There can only be incremental experience. And isn't it beautiful when you and I get a taste of what that feels like? And then here's the thing, then we crave it, and so we want to recreate it over and over again, you know. But that's just part of doing this human dance.
And I just loved how he said at one point, you know, and basically wherever you are, it's perfect. No matter whatever you're doing, it's exactly perfect. And so to rest into that perfection, it's more of that resting and quieting that you're talking about, like the pausing, like it's perfect. Just take a breath. So, other questions? Comments, thoughts?
I'm going to add to that just for a second. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Shakti is neither created nor destroyed, and it's temporal to me. Think of atoms, think of nuclear fusion, think of nuclear fission. You have something that's in one particular state of matter, and it's temporal. You probably go through that when you're in your creativity mode. You know, you have all this creativity, all this genius inside you, and there are times when you're not doing much. You're just in a very static state, and then suddenly you have this explosion of creativity, and it's that Shakti, that energy that's going through you at that point in time. To me, you know, it's really fascinating how the universe is infinite, and yet energy is neither created, or Shakti is neither created nor destroyed, just comes in different forms.
So the floor and the ceiling are Shakti.
Yes.
You are always in that space of receiving and being held by that energy. Yes.
And I love witnessing people, I'll put it this way, allowing their Shakti. There's just this most amazing woman, you're all amazing. She's sitting over here on the back row with her glasses and her sweatshirt and her bun, her beautiful bun. And her name is Terry Burrell. And yay! Terry Burrell is this amazing Broadway veteran. And I had the distinct pleasure to be in her orbit when she was channeling and saying yes to creating a one-woman show around someone that you may know in history known as Ethel Waters. So you want to tell them a little bit about that process for you? But the road was rocky, I'm sure. It was filled with doubt, but how long did that process of bringing that to life, which, by the way, was so, I love her and I know Terry so well, and I completely lost track that it was Terry on stage. That's how much she surrendered to the process.
Well, everything that was said just now, I could relate to. Certainly Jericho, I could relate to it. I remember getting the idea from a friend, a very good friend of mine. And I knew that's what I wanted to do. And when I started to research Ethel Waters, I found a lot of me in her. And at first, the first thing I ever wrote was awful. And then I. And I had a friend say something one day. She was talking. She said, girl, I don't know. This is Loretta. Girl, I don't know. You know, if I... And I thought, wow, wait a minute. What if Ethel was talking to some people and she felt secure and unjudged? What would she say and how would she say it? And that thing of losing a sense of time. I mean, my husband would go to work and leave me in my robe, and he would come back at 6 o'clock and I was still sitting at the computer in my robe. I just got lost in it. And then suddenly, you know, the opportunity, the portal opened and I was able to do it, and you came like 3 or 4 times to see it.
What's the name of the theater here in Atlanta?
The Alliance.
The Alliance there.
Theater.
It kept getting extended and extended and extended and extended until they couldn't extend it anymore because of another show on the books. But
And I can relate to what the gentleman just said about how then it becomes sort of static. Nothing happens with it, but it's still there. And I've learned to just relax. Just relax. There's something else that needs to be done with it before I feel like I push it out there in the world again, but it's still there. And she's just an amazing individual. This black woman who was born into what people don't understand what poverty is and became this major star. So, there you have it.
Thank you, Terry.
Stan, for some reason, I feel as though you have a version of Shakti, and in terms of your ability, your rhythm and your ability and your life and progression with the drums, and I watch you, and you lose yourself sometimes in that rhythm.
Yeah. That's about right, and I don't have an awful lot more to add around or about that. There have been a few other musicians that I've watched, not just drummers. But there's a certain thing that happens when the music just simply takes over for me. And I think one of the first times I noticed it was with a banjo player for Steep Canyon Rangers. And the more that guy just started to riff and go off the rails, the stiller he got. He just got super still. But the music was just like a kaboosh. And so the more I got comfortable and confident with, you know, the song, the music, the rhythm, the whatever, the more I could let go. And there are some songs where I really need to go, like I'm reading sheet music and stay in line with that. But there are other times that I like this that I love when I can really just stop thinking. And it's a lot of muscle memory, but it's very thoughtless. And there's something beyond words that is moving and happening. Is that helpful? Yeah, internal, it's very quiet.
So it says the process of listening and tuning. Yes. Yes.
Hey guys, I'm Umang, first time here. I had a friend who recommended it, so thank you guys. This is awesome. There's an analogy that comes to mind for me, which is like, and it's obviously very relevant now, is fuel, right? So gas. So, and feel free to add commentary if it's different than the way I understand it, but like the fuel is the Shakti or the feminine energy, and then the car is the engine, right? So if you have unlimited fuel, no matter the engine, you're gonna get there. But if you have a Ferrari but no fuel, it's just it's a brick, and you got to have that balance. And then we can turn it on. So when we're young, we tend to have more energy, and we go, go, go. So when I was driving as a younger person, I was so annoyed by my dad, just like easing into the stop and going to the, and I'm like, Dad, just go to the next lane, blah, blah, blah. And I was just going, right? So that gets me somewhere at that age in my life. But then now I need to take a right turn, or I need to take a U-turn, and I need to slow down to really see where I'm going. And so what got me there isn't what's going to get me to the next level. So it's the same Shakti, the same energy, maybe the same engine, right? But we have to keep channeling it differently to go to the next ceiling or the next, transformation. The other thing was like when you only thought it was 1 to 10, and you were at 1, 2, 3. When you get to 10, you're like, I accomplished so much. But then now you see that 10 is actually out of 100. And so now what was 1, 2, 3 is pointless almost. It's like, oh, I already did that, but now I want to go to 100, and then 100 becomes 1,000. And so it never ends. There's always growth, but that I think is like a beautiful part of our life is like the more out of comfort zone we get, the more we realize that we could do so much more than we thought and have so much more. And I think that's beautiful. But I just wanted to share myself in the room. Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you so much.
All right.
One more.
Are you sure? Okay.
One more. Yes.
Coming with the microphone to Sophia.
Hi, I'm Sophia. And one phrase I used to really, really dislike was, when God closes a door, he opens a window. I'd be like, or opens another door. But you know what I've learned is the power of the hallway. The power of just sitting there, marinating, literally marinating in that unlimited possibility, that Shakti, and then not trying to push the river, not trying to find the next door, just kind of letting it flow. And then I find that life is easier this way. You just let one thing unfold, and the next thing unfolds, and the next thing unfolds. And if the door doesn't open, then I just keep sitting in the hallway and enjoying it.
And that's so perfect because, again, you detested when people said that, but then when you did it, it completely transformed the experience into something that's reverent. I can tell it's reverent for you. And my remembrance of that analogy is not as eloquent or spiritually appropriate. It was when one door closes, another opens, but the hallways are a bitch. Yeah. So. And with that, let's sing.
Om Shrim Som Somaya Nama. In reference to the moon, Som Somaya. As it is the beginning of a new cycle, takes us into the final month of spring, 2026. And I love, Sophia, what you said about the hallway and Shakti, the presence, potential. It's always there. We are in it. It isn't necessarily something to be accomplished. It's something that we access always. So let's ground ourselves into this mantra and the moon. Om Shrim Som Somaya Namah. 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 Om Shrim Som Somaya Namah.
so Maya Namaho Shrim Som 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 So
Taking a moment to find the breath that's in your body, the aliveness in this moment, May 17th, 2026. The next mantra is quite fitting given our conversation, reference Shakti and this energy that is pure potential. So we'll name Om Mata, Om Kali, Mother Kali, Durga, Devi, Namo Namaha, these great Hindu goddesses, power and ferocity, protection, and the Shakti Kundalini, this pure force that is present for all of us. We honor that in this mantra. Yeah, let's take a sip of water. Y'all ready? The first line, Om Mata, Om Kali, Durga, Devi, Namo Namaha. We repeat that. We'll do that call and response to start. And then the second part, the Shakti Kundalini, Jagadambe Mata, we also do twice, but we'll do it all together. So you'll get it. We'll start with a call and response. So, Om Mata, Om Kali, Durga Devi Namo Namaha.
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 Om Mata,
Jai Ma.
Would you please give acknowledgement to Austin right here for today for his contribution? And Stan on the drums. And Rohi. Woo! Shanali. Jairam.
And David Ault. David Ault.
And over there in the sound booth, Robert.
James.
James Robert. James Loper, thrown to the wolves to learn sound. And I think you did amazing.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
James.
Reverend Gene and all, as always, thank you so much. Woo!
All right.
And thank you. Now is our time to eat, but as as we're going down, yes?
We're going to have some announcements,
Yes.
just real quickly.
As you're getting prepared, so if you look at your screen, these wonderful, are they here today?
They're right here.
Oh.
Say hi.
Oh my God.
It's the butternut.
It's the butternut people. Jan and Min, our friends, last month, they were so kind and so generous to Nandi Das, sold all of their nut butters and the proceeds coming back for us to be able to do this again, which was so incredible.
Thank you,
and
Jan
so
and
they're
Min.
back today, so show them some love.
Please, you'll enjoy their nut butter. It is delicious.
Yes. And if you go to nandidas.com, you will see a link there that shows current events and all the other beautiful people in our community that are offering their Shakti and their soul to the community. Please support them. And I believe our kitchen crew, the elves are already down there doing their magic.
Yes,
Is this true?
This is true.
You will find then on this table, it's called prasad. So prasad is when you go to a temple, they give you a gift as you exit. And so the prasad that we are offering you is not necessarily some candy or some food, but it's these beautiful images of these people that we sing about. And you scan over them. Look, and if one calls you, take it and put it on your altar and allow yourself to see what wants to cultivate in that. But please help yourself to all of those beautiful images. And then there are these wonderful QR codes. We believe in the power of reciprocity. So if you feel called to donate, know that it helps to pay for sound. It helps us to be able to continue to do all the things that we're doing and blessing the community and the band and the food, all those great things. So will you stay with us? Will you make 7.5 new friends? And so I'll let you figure out the math and
please
how that
take
will look like.
a cup of chai home because I made a lot and the crowd's a little thin today, so I don't want to throw it away.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget all your belongings, your water bottles, everything. Be able to take that downstairs with you, and the food awaits. We will see you there.
All right.